Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. Okay, so we have another show ready for you guys. We have been chitting and chatting backstage at the next most ridiculous things that are emerging, and we can barely keep it. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So, of course, introduce my guest. So to my side now, I want to go this way, but I'm supposed to go this way. So we have Sheila here of Celtic Tarot. Down here, I want to go this way, but it should be this way. We have David back again from Tarot by the Bay. Thank you so much. And of course, we've got Lena back down under.
Back.
Fabulous red glasses. And I just have to ask you, Lena, is it getting warmer, or are you still in the depths of winter down there in Australia?
No, well, we had a fake spring for a few days, and we all went, oh, thank God for that. And now it's freezing. Absolutely freezing.
Oh, dear. But don't worry, as things continue, just so you know, Lena, autumn has come early to the UK. It's come early. Yeah, spring was late, summer was fine and on time, but autumn has come early. Ironically, because we've not had much rain, the trees are quite stressed and they've been dropping their leaves early, and there's hardly any outside. Yeah.
And most of America has been in the pits of hell.
Yes, all year round.
Yep.
It's not a seasonal thing.
Hundreds.
Indeed. Indeed. So there is lots to cover today in today's show. So it's going to be the usual combination of some international questions and, of course, things going on in the United States. The second one we do have to talk about, which is really sad, which is these. I only just found out about these child shootings. So we're going to have to talk about that and address that. And then, of course, to talk about there is just so much crazy going on. And you guys will remember, as you know, I always do the astrology. And you remember I said, guys, from the 29th of March, 2025, I said, this is going to be the rude awakening. And we are going to see things that we have never seen before in the United States. And each day becomes more and more ridiculous. And I think I said, did I say to you, Lena, on my last show? But I said, for me, when I look at it, when I ponder America now, I feel like I'm watching a combination of Twin Peaks, Rosemary's Baby, and Airplane.
Yes.
You just can't make it up. And one of the things we're going to have to talk about as well is the Trump GoFundMe to get into heaven. So we'll squeeze that in. So let's just dive into the show. And where we're first starting, and of course it's so nice to, of course, have you back, David, as well. I think I said that, but just in case I didn't. So this is coming from Maureen Pembleton. So we're going to the UK, my neck of the woods, for a change. Things aren't that much better here, guys. We get the Downton Abbey. Yeah, we get the Downton Abbey version of the cray-cray in America. But anyway, so Maureen says, a fabulous lineup as ever. Questions. Given the announcement about deporting asylum seekers crossing the English Channel, I've not been able to check this. I've been busy with my clients all day. Could Nigel Farage successfully execute this, they say? Will it mean the UK will now start deporting those who have origins in the Commonwealth and the EU? So a few questions here. Although people have seen the consequences of ICE in the USA and the detrimental effects it has had on the economy and social fabric, is this an attempt to win votes and usher in a far right-wing government? Thanks in advance. So there's quite a lot to unpick there. Let me see.
I think if we start with the end first, yes, that's exactly what it is, right? It's a play to get popular votes on the immigration issue. So let's go back to the first bit.
The first bit was...
Will he be successful at it?
Well, yeah, will Farage... So we'll do one card pulls on this because, we love our one card pulls. So if Farage were to get into power, and remember, unfortunately, I did do readings on him and I said, he does stand a good chance. This was months ago. They are leading in the polls in the UK, just so you know. A bit vomit-inducing, but it's true. So would Nigel Farage successfully execute this idea of deporting asylum seekers? One card pull, and then we'll do the middle one. The world.
Oh, God. And Australia, of course, started this. We had offshore processing, like they were cans of tuna. You know.
Pioneered it. All right, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. So let's see. We'll go, this time we'll go clockwise. So Sheila, you'll go first, then David, then Lena, and we'll just keep swapping it around. Yeah. How do you interpret your card?
Okay, I got the moon. Although I'm going to get better cards. These don't really show up very well, but I got the moon. And of course, it's my witch, flying on her broomstick across the broom. However, in front of the moon. The moon in all of this. Well, every time we get the moon, there's a highlight over here, but there's a lot of things in the dark that we can't see when the moon is shining over here. So what it sounds like to me, and I don't know a whole heck of a lot about your politics other than what I learned from you guys, it looks like he's doing a lot of things behind the scenes that are that people are going to find out, I think. I see the moon, but there's a lot of activity going on behind the scenes. I don't know if there's somebody there that just doesn't like him a lot, is blowing the whistle, but it sounds like somebody's just going to shove this to the front line. I don't know.
Fascinating. David, how do you interpret your card?
My card is the classic conservative resource guarding and fear of lack of resources, that these people have come in, they've taken your jobs, we can't afford all these folks coming in here, we don't have the resources to do that. So any excuse that you can get to deny them their rights, deny them resources, and get them out plays well not only to anybody who's fearful. And unfortunately it's so few people that are in a really good financial, economic state that they can say, no, we can get through this. Everybody else, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, this resonates with them because they think that maybe there'll be more for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, the thing with Farage is he was the face of the lies that led to Brexit. And the Labour Party has failed to say that. Just show him saying all the things that he lied about. They haven't pushed him back in his box. So consequently, it's here. This to me represents Labour. Can they deal with him or not? And I don't think they've got a plan. So this is, I think, this figure with the swords who's indecisive as opposed to making a clear choice. So I think rather than the people, because people will follow the cheapest, dirtiest argument, I think this is the government. They don't know what to do. They're at a crossroads with Farage because they're losing to him now. Yeah,
they are. Yeah, very interesting cards. Now I've got the 5 of Cups. Yeah, 5 of Cups. Sorry, the reflection was a bit bright. I couldn't remember. We've got the 5 of Cups here. So, of course, this card talks about disappointment. It talks about betrayal, loss. However, this is a bit more nuanced because this could also talk about the people that may not be successful. Yeah. Because when we look here, we need to remember that 3 of the cups are knocked over, but 2 are standing. So what that says to me is, hypothetically, if he were to become into power, I really hope he doesn't. But what it says to me, he might be successful with some things, but not with all things, because there is still international law. I think they're trying to, if he were to come in, one of the things they're looking to do is overturn the Human Rights Act. So that is hardly.
They're really bad.
Yeah, that's hardly a thing. So I would say it would be mixed. I think there will be some successes, like some successful deportations, and then some failures on others. So it may not be so easy, but as we all know, this is a very populist, far-right playbook, which sadly works very, very well. Tends to work very well. Anything to add to that before? Let's just see here. Let's do another one.
Sorry, could I just say hello to Suzanne, who's in Maryborough in Queensland. And Suzanne, I was born in Maryborough. Oh,
amazing, amazing. So let's do one more one-card pull to see if this would extend to Commonwealth and EU. And then I think we need to get Shakespeare's opinion on Farage. I don't think we've done
perfect.
Yeah. So one more one-card pull. So the next part said, could Nigel Farage successfully execute this? We answered that bit. Will it mean the UK will start deporting those who have origins in the Commonwealth and the EU? So, of course, Commonwealth would be Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Who else is in the Commonwealth?
The Caribbean, although they're independent, they're still ex-Commonwealth countries.
That's true, yeah. It's actually quite a broad range, isn't it? So let's see what the cards say. Oh, God, what times? All right, after 3.
Sorry.
Let's see when we're ever ready. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And this time, David will be going first.
The question is, will they be successful in deporting other members of the Commonwealth?
Yeah, and EU. So
and EU.
Migrants is one thing, which tend to be more from Middle East at the moment and stuff like that. But the EU is everyone in Europe, and we used to be part of the EU. And Commonwealth is like Australia, New Zealand, Canada.
The Empire.
Yeah, and I hate to phrase it like this, forgive me, but I think they're going to keep the ones that closely resemble themselves. So if your melanin levels are light, then they'll keep you. And if you have more melanin, then they'll probably want to send you back, because it's kind of like what ICE is doing here. If you look like you're Hispanic, you get arrested.
Yeah, I think you're right. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, the same.
Oh, did you get the same?
Yes, we both got the 4 of Pentacles. It's look, I think this is people hanging tight here. So I think the problem is with sending people anywhere, it costs millions and millions, more than it would to settle them, right, to maintain these distant prison colonies. Right? So I think it could be financial as much as anything. Could be awkward, because if you say, then they can't say Australia because we'd say no, even though we do bastardry and other things, we'd say no. I think most of the Commonwealth countries would actually say no. So if they went to the older colonies, like the Caribbean, money could be involved, but they're a bit worried about the cost of this.
Well, for me here, I've got the 10 of Swords, which of course is the vintage card for betrayal. So I think they would, the long and short is, I think they would entertain the idea, and it would be stabbing Commonwealth in the back. But I'm inclined to agree as well with David. I think the more melanated you are, the more likely you're to get this. Yeah. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I'm going off of reading with my first card that I got was the Moon, and then I got abuse and neglect, and I pulled one more card with my Rider-Waite, so I had one, and it was the Ace of Wands. If these people get elected, that is exactly what they're going to do. There's no doubt in my mind. That is their plan. They're not like producing it like this is what we're going to do, but that is their absolute plan.
Wow. Gosh. The world. I mean, it's just
Never
you know, we have to keep putting one foot in front of the other because it's just extraordinary. One thing that is a positive, which I saw on another channel, which was a really good point, is that have you guys been seeing these town halls where these GOP senators have been getting eviscerated?
Yes.
Like it's like the raptors at Jurassic Park. They are just letting. I mean, that's one consolation. Let's see. Let's ask the bard about Farage. That we have not done before. And Lena, since you've been away for a little while, I think it is your turn. And of course, we did David last time. I'm sure we'll squeeze in a bit more of Shakespeare before the night is out. So you know the drill. Tell me where to stop and we'll get
the weasel
on Farage bag.
Ready, stop.
Wait, have we seen that one? We've seen before. Oh gosh.
Oh.
All right. I think, yeah, the bard has kind of spoken quite forthrightly here. This is the bard's opinion on Nigel Farage for entertainment purposes only. Says, bastard begot, bastard instructed, bastard in mind in everything illegitimate.
Oh, wow.
Entertainment purposes only. Wow.
We haven't had that one before.
No. I don't
and
think
no one more deserving than Nigel Farage.
Yeah, I think the bard was very, very strong on that one. So yeah, Nigel is dealt with on that. Are we ready for the next subject matter? Look, the gorgeous doggy. All right, so this is question number 2, and I mean, this really is just awful, horrific, and it's about these church shootings. I only found out about this just before I got on air. This is just dreadful.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, so Lil Bears says, and this they wrote this question about 3 hours ago. And they said, another school/church shooting. The children were actually attending mass. Will we ever have a time when this won't feel so commonplace, that our kids and grandkids can go to school and be safe without the schools having to be in lockdown, without armed teachers and staff? This is not right. And then Denise Ferguson replied to Lil Bears and says, this was especially heartbreaking because he boarded the doors so they couldn't escape. Yeah, it's just Republicans with their thoughts and prayers won't work this time. These children were literally sitting in church pews in prayer. Thank you for asking the question. I mean, the levels of the depravity of what is going on is just absolutely astonishing. But
where was it?
I'm not exactly what state it was, but we got some more information too. I mean, he had a manifesto. He had on notebooks, you know, get rid of all the ends, and he, I mean, it was really I mean, he was horrible. This man was very, very ill. I can't remember what state. Dave, do you remember what state?
They have it in the comments too. It's Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis, okay,
wow.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yeah. He was very ill. I mean, but yet, you know, the illness this is what gets me. And I'm going to say this real quick. I know we're running out of time. The illness that comes with all of that. Why is it that they attach themselves to the right-wing ideology? That's my thing, is why is this a partnership for them? Because that usually is what happens. The illness is there, and yet they attach themselves to the right-wing idea. That has to be a red flag for any MAGA or any Republican out there. But, you know?
Well, my thing is this, and you know, and I know this is a very dark subject matter, but one of the things for me, maybe as a Brit from the outside looking in, you have these demented men, usually men, who are happy to gun down innocent children, yet they go to these town halls, yeah, and yeah, there are raised voices in there. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, if I was choosing between the two, it's just like, why is it always the children? Why do they always go for the most vulnerable and innocent people?
They don't see them as vulnerable, and they don't see them as vulnerable and innocent. And this is just a psychology. I'm not a doctor, but this is the psychology of it. They see them as saving them from having to deal with what they're dealing with as an adult.
Oh,
that's what most of them have put out into the world. They're saving them from going and dealing with they don't have to be an adult and deal with this.
Oh, just ridiculous. So let's just pull one card pull and just see, maybe just to read the energy of this and what is going on with the GOP and just these people in general, because it's just evil in my opinion. Just pure, undiluted evil. And yet, you know, they never turn the guns. They don't turn the guns on ICE. They don't turn the guns on where. They don't turn the guns on the, the rapists and the pedophiles and stuff. But innocent children, yeah, let's shoot them dead. It's just like, wow. All right, one card.
Agreed.
Oh, all right. After 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. So who? I think David, you went first, isn't it? So Lena, it's you now.
Yes, I think if we spend even a nanosecond on their psychology, it comes from being out in the cold, right? However, that's not a reason or an excuse. Sorry, they turn away from the light.
Yeah.
No, it's just gross, isn't it? It's just gross. Here, I've got the 5 of Swords. Look, it's an abuse of power. These people, they want to defile innocence. They come out with all of, they'll be there all voting for all these so-called Republican family values, and then they'll also be voting to reduce the age of consent to 14. It's completely hypocritical and mad. It's just all about power and anger and rage and evil, in my opinion. 5 of Swords. Sheila?
Imprisonment. I mean, there's a lot in that word. Shall they be in prison? Of course. Should they go to prison before they even get to where they're going? Yeah. You know, a lot of what Hogarth was just saying is it is absolutely weirds my mind out that they would definitely go for something that wouldn't fight them versus something that would fight them. And on that note, the imprisonment, they all should be there. We are losing in this country because we don't have mental health under control. Nobody can afford that. You know, it's just, there's a lot to this answer to this question.
David, how do you interpret your card?
It was funny that Sheila hit the mental health, because when I first pulled this card, I thought of Ronald Reagan, California, and defunding of mental health institutes, which put a lot of crazy people, for lack of a better word, out on the streets. This is a power play for somebody who doesn't have hope. They, for a moment, their values can be dictated to somebody else. So like the King of Pentacles, and I'm reading this as a reverse King of Pentacles. What do you bring to the table? Wait a minute, never mind, I don't care. I'll tell you what I bring to the table, and this is what I think it should be, and these are my values, and you're going to live underneath them. So out of hopelessness, out of lack of the ability to treat that hopelessness through mental health, they act out on a population that they feel superior to.
Oh, is that true? The shooter was a trans woman. Oh, God.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true. I haven't heard that.
Can we have it confirmed, please?
Yeah, I can definitely have that confirmed. But I also wanted to touch on a little bit other stuff. Parents. we have some really, really addicted, alcoholic, drug addicted people who are having children in this country as well. And I don't know if I have noticed an uptick on mental health from coming from parents down to the children, down to the grandparents. It's just a phenomenal bloodline. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but let me confirm.
Gosh, just grim, isn't it? Just grim. Okay, shall we move on? It was a very difficult question to answer, wasn't it? But I think it was one that had to be
Now it becomes really complicated
and looked at, because it just, you know, this should be forensic examination of a society where it keeps on happening. Do you know what I mean? It's just other countries, I can say, we just look on agog. It's hard to even know what to say. Okay, so moving on. So now we're going to Greenland. Yeah, Greenland. And allegedly there's been some spies knocking about. You can't make this stuff up. So Denise Ferguson asks, and she says, Denmark's foreign minister summoned a visiting US diplomat for talks. Denmark claims 3 American nationals with ties to Trump have been carrying out covert influence operations in Greenland. Obviously not that covert, because they got caught. Will the Americans be removed, or will they be successful in their campaign to make Greenland a US territory? And then Nick Minks replied, Greenland have exposed US spies trying to garner support for Dumpy's takeover. Will Greenland be able to prevent their country being undermined? So both people asked the same question. So will this work, this espionage and this kind of covert encouragement to try and get Greenland to come even more under the influence of America? And let's do another one card pull on that one. One card pull. Oh God.
Okay.
The answer is yes. It was a transgender woman.
Wow.
It really muddies the waters for all sorts of obvious, horrendous reasons.
Yeah. It does.
Indeed. All right. Are we ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. And also, I suppose this time, is it me first now? Yeah, because I've been going. Okay. So, US president, spies, foreign. Look, Duck Orange. As you guys know, I have come to associate the star card, when we're reading on politics, as the narcissist in chief. Yeah, Duck Orange. Yeah, with all the lights around and all this stuff. But really, this is what. It's all being done in his name. The thing is, Trump, in a way, is actually, I feel Trump should actually now be seen as an avatar for oligarchy.
Yes.
He's the figurehead, yeah? We know Mr. Cankles is struggling. What did they call him on iHip News the other day? Cankles muffin top, yeah? Because the fluid retention in his ankles is so bad, they're starting to droop over the sides of the shoes. I mean, I didn't even know that was possible. And I think the shoelaces aren't even done up, because he's having obviously to have to wedge his feet in there with coconut oil and whatever it is to get the shoe on. So this is talking about Duck Orange, but really what they want is they want the minerals. Yeah, they want the minerals for all of the batteries and all of the stuff that they need for AI. But really, I think this is about Donald Trump he's got the fame. He's going to make Greenland great again. That's the spiel, I think. Sheila?
Well, I got jealousy. Jealousy's never good. This is a PSA for anybody out there. Don't let your children grow up believing jealousy is an opportunity. And this is exactly what it is. I think Greenland's, there's some there. And And Trump wants it. Greenland wants what America has. Trump wants what Greenland has. I just think that it's that bottom of the barrel jealousy feeling. It's
David, how do you interpret your card?
Hey, bribing people's the most cost-effective way to buy Greenland, right? I mean, I don't know how many billions or so that you'd have to pay for the territory, but if you take $1 billion, there's what, only like a couple 100,000 people in Greenland? Take $1 billion, give them each $5,000 for their vote. You can get a near 90% of the people wanting to switch for $1 billion. Bargain of the century.
Yeah.
So yeah, buy your way to fame.
Gosh. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
It's a reckless moment. So it's destabilizing on a much broader scale, because any effective takeover of Greenland is an attack on Denmark, is an attack on the EU. I also think with this boat here, I mean, Greenland, it's a big island, but it's an island. What's interesting is I'm not sure Greenlanders could be bought off one by one, family by family. That often happens in lots of places, but I think the vote was the highest vote that ever had in Greenland about pushing this away. It was 85% or 90% or something.
Ooh.
So people can be lured with money, you know, that's for sure. But I think this is reckless in all sorts of ways. It's also part of the national strategic thing, and it would involve Russia. Which side would Russia go for? Would Russia join the US to take over Greenland? Oh, my God. Okay, so that's another horror down the road.
God.
Reckless moment. It's not just about one thing.
Indeed. And what I would add to that is part of why it makes it reckless as well. Look, we know that America, as the most recent incarnation of a superpower, has had tremendous influence on the world. But there, for me, there's something clumsy about this. First of all, the population of Greenland is I think it's about 300,000. So guess what? If you're going to run around pretending to be a spy, people are going to notice.
Oh, they all know it's an island. Doesn't matter how big it is. Everyone knows everything.
Everyone knows everyone. So if you're in Greenland and you look a bit different and you've got a bit of a funny accent, it's kind of hard to be a spy in Greenland. Like it's kind of hard to be a spy on the Isle of Wight. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Small places where everyone knows everyone. People just know. So I think the thing is, what I'm more worried about is the message this sends to the outside world, because people are just like, wait a minute, this is clumsy espionage. And with all of this taco turning and all of this other betrayal, because the next question is going to be about India, I just think it just further erodes America's credibility on the world stage. I think it's just too much. They just need to calm down. But clearly, of course, they are not, because they're lunatics. Yeah. Oh, I just want to say some quick thank yous. So thank you so much, Angeli, thank you so much for becoming new member. Thank you so much, Pam, for your donation, much appreciated. Tobiah, thank you so much. And Vanessa, thank you so much. Thanks, much appreciated. All right, so let's start, and also as well, let's bring in some of the crowd here. So I'm just scrolling down. Let's just see.
Wheezy Squeeze Box makes an interesting point. Because they're under the Danish government, they get free healthcare and higher education.
Yeah.
Well, it's sad if they become part of the United States. We'll make them pay for all that.
Yeah.
The bribes that we give them.
Jeez.
So,
madness, isn't it? And GG Green says it's not Greenland we need to worry about seriously. It's getting that autocratic group kicked to the curb before Taco is successful in controlling the military. Yeah, and the thing is with, of course, as SCOTUS, he is kind of de facto in charge of the military. This is part of what the problem is. Oh God, all right, let's move on to the next question. So this one is coming from Nick Minks and says, I just can't believe this. US tariffs of 50% on goods from India took effect on Wednesday as Donald Trump sought to punish Delhi for buying Russian oil and weapons. Do the cards show whether these will stand, or will he flip-flop again? Yeah. So just to say, so US tariffs 50% on goods from India, and if we could double check that as well in the comments or on laptops, just to establish that.
It's worse. I think it's 150% or 500% or something. I think it's 500%.
What?
I did a read on this last week. Yeah. So they said to India and China, if you don't stop buying oil and gas from Russia, you'll be tariffed 500%. They're not going to stop buying oil and gas from Russia. Why would they? So they're just going to hold out.
50. I saw 50 when I just looked it up. Trump makes good on board to impose 50% tariffs on India imports.
Okay.
Right. So it's 50. All right. Good. 50. What? I mean, I say
last
that, but
week it was 500, the original threat. See, already he just changes these numbers. He pulls them out of his bum,
Yeah.
Madness. So let's look at that and see what's going on there. And then also as well, I want to do a quick screen share because we need to talk about de minimis. This is also very important as well. So this is very important. So we'll do another one card pull. So just to read it again, US tariffs of 50% on goods from India took effect on Wednesday as Donald Trump sought to punish Delhi for buying Russian oil and weapons. Do the cards show whether these will stand, or will he flip-flop again? Yeah. So one card pull.
Need to run to my room for a wardrobe change. Come find my taco shirt.
Are you going to do it? You've got time if you need to. Oh, that's madness.
Sorry, we've got an update. Someone was saying 50% today, 500% tomorrow. I think what it's about is it's 50% now, as of Wednesday, with threats of it going up at all times. They don't know. Can you believe? But 50%.
Ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Really
Okay, after 3, so 50%. Trump tariff, will Taco Tits go through with it for entertainment purposes? Only 1, 2, 3. Oh, so I went first. So I think Sheila, it's you now.
Well, I have neglect and abuse. Well, does that answer if he's going to continue with that? I think once he gets the feedback, because he is Taco, he doesn't like anybody that has placed any money in any of those markets. They're going to come talk to him and say, I'm losing money. And then he's going to change. The neglect, that's what it is. I think he probably, he just forgot that he did it. Why he hasn't taken it off yet. I see everybody else's cards too. I thought, yep, that's what it is.
Wow. David, how do you interpret your card? And you have a returning card just come back.
I would say that this is going to be one of those ones where Modi gives him a phone call, apologizes, tells him he's the most wonderful person in the world without a very small, and that they'll buy U.S. goods and stuff like that. And then Trump will reverse it, and they'll just do what they do anyways behind the scenes.
Wow. Interesting. Fascinating. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, it says Thieves' Highway. Thieves' Highway. He's just going to keep throwing out these rubber numbers, and people basically you know, I'm sure all the world leaders are talking behind the scenes. Oh, I had to deal with him on Tuesday. What did you say? Oh, I've got to deal with him next Friday. You know, what worked for you? You know, it's like that because they do just see it as theft in the international scheme. It is.
Yeah. Gosh, crazy.
Oh, sorry, an update here. Modi is not returning Trump's calls.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So here I've got the King of Wands. And as you know, the Wand suite is associated with fire and passion and emotion. And I associate the Wand suite with entrepreneurship, business. So this for me is talking about businessmen, businesswomen, business in general. And this just is not good. It's just not good. I think what is in Trump's diminished state, he is still trying to see himself as this big broker businessman on the world stage. Yeah, I think this is what he's trying to present. But I think the other cards are showing what's really going on. I think Trump and the regime is so provocative. So when we think of David's card, you know, of the thief sneaking, but I also associate that card with cunning. And I think it is just reaching the state where it's just becoming ridiculous now, where de facto all the countries are just like, we're just going to have to do our own thing. We're just going to have to do our own thing because Trump thinks he's like this businessman of the world. And he's not. So I think this is Trump's state of mind. And one thing I want to quickly share, I don't normally do a screen share, but I thought this was just important to show two headlines, particularly as we're on this topic here of imports and exports, and Canada's next. So I'm going to do share screen. If I do, oh no, here we go, here we are. And this is talking about de minimis. Let me know if you can actually see this. So folks, can you see the CNBC headline? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so here we are. This is what's going on. European carriers pause some shipments to US as they prepare for end of de minimis exemption. So just to give a little bit of clarity here, European mail carriers are pausing some shipments to the US as they prepare for the end of the de minimis exemption, which long excluded packages valued under $800. Everyone will know this. Australia will also stop shipping.
Yeah, we've stopped sending things.
Yeah. National post offices across Europe issued statements in recent days saying they will suspend those smaller shipments to the US as they work to change their systems to comply with the new requirements. The bulk of the de minimis shipments have long come from China, but the exemption for imports from the country ended in May is set to be extended globally on Friday. And it goes on to, and it's too long to read all that, but it's supposed to be 800 and less. I have been, let me do the stop share. What I've seen is, depending on the tariff rate, so if you're on a tariff that is 16% or more, even if you were to order a plastic ring, the charge is going to be $80.
Yes.
$80.
Or 200.
Right, and as the tariff rate goes up against the country, it then goes 100, then it goes to 200. Guys, what are your thoughts on that? For me, I'm just seeing this as sabotage now. This is just sabotage. Sheila, your thoughts on the ending of this de minimis and stuff?
Well, like I said, he really thinks this is a bargaining chip for other countries. I'm going to raise something. They're going to call, and he said it out loud. They call him beg me. They call him beg me. So all he thinks is a bargaining chip for whatever he thinks he's getting out of all of this. What he doesn't realize, because in the past, it's starting. He'll stop it just before it hits the grocery store. He'll stop it just before it gets really bad. So he's just playing Russian roulette with all of our economy and everything to get what he wants. My opinion on that.
Extraordinary. David, your opinion on this ending of de minimis and maybe the likely impacts it's likely to have on the economy?
He wants to burn it all down. And
Yeah, I think
small shipments are a way to get around that. So he's going to encourage the ruthless closing of that to prevent any end around. He is trying to cement his legacy as a ruthless negotiator and various other things in his mind. You know, the toughest negotiator ever, with negotiation skills like you've never seen before, type of thing.
that's
But
right.
he doesn't care about the common person. He doesn't care about the little guy. It's his ego. Just burn it down.
Gosh, Lena.
Well, it's massively destructive to small business, which is roughly half of all business, because they cannot absorb the shock of this. But also he can play with this and he can taco out every day of the week. But the problem is instability is as bad as the worst sanction or the worst, tax. Instability kills business. So the repercussions, and it's also China now too. I just saw this morning, stopping small shipments, which is the big one, of course.
Yeah, so Temu, Amazon, all of this stuff is going to rapidly, from Friday, become unaffordable for the majority of Americans. I mean, for me, like, you remember when we were looking back at this, and I remember when I was making predictions about the Trump regime, and I said, of all of his crazy ideas, and many of them are foul and terrible, and Project 2025, I said the tariffs will be the worst one. And for me, this is just sabotage. The end goal, I mean, one can't even, this is just astonishing. No one does this to their economy unless they are determined to ruin it. There's no... This isn't. It's almost beyond description. I can almost not find the language for the damage that is being done. It's just extraordinary.
Yeah, it's like Dave said. Just that's the aim, to burn it down.
Burn it all down.
Yeah, he's just so filled with hate, isn't he? Let me just say some thank yous. Thank you. Taco ain't going to heaven. He's going to be stuck in that strong man from Russia's backside. Yeah, absolutely. He's not going to heaven. If we look here, thank you so much. BZ, Teresa, thank you. Brent, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Yes. And then 40 says, you are making a difference every week. Thank you for your light. Much appreciated, Marianne. And then Gigi Green says, if autocracy wins, then America wins where Hitler lost. Oh, devastating. And then someone says, LP says, do you foresee mental competence tests, an age limit, and mandatory physicals from a third-party doctor for presidents going forward? The US can't go through this hell again. Well, they might try and just stop all of that altogether, isn't it, with what douchebag is doing. Thank you, Dr. Liz. Thank you, Canadian Classic. Oh, I feel exhausted.
Yes, I know.
I feel exhausted. We have 2,460 of you here right now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
And what I'll never understand is why the conventional big business, not the huge tech oligarchs, are tolerating it. I don't understand.
Well, they're complicit, aren't they? They're complicit.
Absolutely. And Tim Cook from Apple, give him a shiny thing. Look, it's 24 karat gold, and they get a carve out from all this madness. You know, what is this? That's how shallow he is.
Indeed, indeed. And thank you as well to everyone for joining us live. Thank you for your donations, for your questions, and your support of the channel. It's much, much appreciated. Please be sure as well to like and subscribe and share and help the channel grow. And of course, as you can see, we've been mixing up with our guests. It's great to have Dave back. I think we've got Johnny back next week, and we're all here together, folks. We're just trying to put one foot in front of the other to make sense of this madness, of this absolute madness. So shall we move on to the next question? It's another kind of tariffy one, but this time it is with Canada. Yeah. All right. So Jerry Geld has asked, PM Carney, so of course the Prime Minister of Canada, Carney, he used to be the head of the Bank of England, by the way, got elected due to his strong elbows up stance against the Trump regime. However, last week he lifted retaliatory tariffs that fell under the CUSMA agreement. Do the cards show if he is bending the knee to Trump, or is this due to creating new trade agreements with other countries so US products are no longer necessary? Yeah, so let's do one card pull again. Interesting question, that, wasn't it?
Oh. Carney's interesting because in another time he would have been the ho-hum economist, you know, like whatever, and he's stepped up to the moment in history.
Absolutely. Madness. All right, let's see. Mark Carney, Canada economy. All right, after 3. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm trying to think who needs to go first this time. So it was Sheila. I think David. Is it you again? I think it's you again.
I think it's me.
Your card.
Let's keep the economy going. Let's keep the trade going. When you were saying the second of the two, where he's like, let's make deals with other countries by dropping tariffs, that's 100% what it is. That's the economist in him. He knows Canada needs the trade to survive. The U.S. is going to be a pain in the ass. So go to people who are willing to trade with you. I wonder how much more money Canada makes now selling their oil to China than they did with the sweetheart prices to the U.S.
They're doing well. Their economy is doing well. Apparently, it's going up. Lena, your card.
Yes, I think this is him being proactive. He's just out there and saying, well, you can do all the writhing in the threats that you want, but we're moving on, really moving on.
Yeah, with pace. And here I get the strength card. So in many ways, that is self-explanatory. So the strength card can talk about not only just what's amazing with this card is that the young maiden here is controlling the lion without any force. Because it is the force of her dignity and personality and force of will that is enough to tame the lion. And in a way, one can't help that Carney, in a way, as a metaphor for Canada, this is in a way I feel how Canada is starting to deal with the Trump regime. They're like, you know what, let's not react. Let's stay calm. All right, douchebag, orange cankles, muffin top, you go and shake your head off. We're going to be calm, cool, and collected, and we will just trade with whoever. Because at this stage, in an insane world, sanity and boringness is a glorious harmony.
Glorious boredom.
It really is. So being strong. Sheila?
What I got was the magician. The magician, there's one thing about the magician is that he knows how to get things going, doing it his way, even if it has like a deceiving aspect to it. But I just think that it's not necessarily deceiving. I just think that he's very he has the tools at hand.
Adaptable.
He has the tools at hand. And I have to say, what our dumbass president has done is made everybody level up. it's almost like prior to that, everybody had this idea that America is the way to go. This is the only way we're going to make money. And all of a sudden he wiped that out. And all of the other countries leveled up like, oh no, we have other choices.
Yes.
That's what he did with all of everybody's like, we are forced to stop relying on America, which economy, we do your economy, you get your good economy, we'll get our good economy. Well, he stopped doing that. If you start looking elsewhere, the America is going to go, it's just going to level up with everybody else. Nobody can say we're the greatest economy anymore, because we're not going to be. We're going to be the equal economy, which I don't mind that as much as we just lost all of our power because of this guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you're absolutely wrong.
And someone says here in the comments, they said, so Nicole Feller says, I ask myself this daily, like Ozzy Osbourne dies, but Trump still lives. I did get a Trump voodoo doll.
I think they're doing good business, the Trump voodoo dolls.
Well, do you know what?
I don't comment in the chat here.
Yeah.
I can't stand this anymore. Wake me up when the cheeseburgers have completed their mission.
Yeah, indeed. It's astonishing. But as you guys know, as I said before, I said Trump would start having health issues from the 29th of March. Now, what is Saturn is transiting his 8th house. The health issues have always been there, but when Saturn goes through the 8th house, if there's stuff there, that is when it comes out. And just to remind people again, on the 18th to the 18th/19th of October 2025, Jupiter is going to become exalted in the sign of Cancer, and it's going to station at around about 1 degree of Cancer. Why is this important? First of all, Jupiter is the planet of enlightenment. People are going to have this wake up call. It's happening, but at that point, even the most rusted on MAGA are not going to be able to deny what is going on. This Jupiter is going to be standing right on top of Trump's natal Saturn. Saturn is the planet of karma. For the Leo ascendant, Saturn also rules the 6th house of health, and the 7th house, which is known as a marker house, which is death inflicting. Not that I'm wishing it, but it's there. But when Jupiter moves into sidereal Cancer, that is going to be Trump's 12th house of endings, hospitals, or exile, stuff like that. So
institutions.
I just sense like this is going to be a massive shift, and that will actually be happening in the US Declaration of Independence chart. Jupiter will be in the 8th house of death and transformation. Something massive is coming. I think I've said it before, these tariffs, these prices, this ridiculousness, Trump cankles muffin top, I think it's all coming together, and who knows, but it's going to be big. I think it's going to be big.
The screaming goat.
The screaming goat, the screaming
because
goat.
At the end of the day, you can't reason with MAGA. You can't appeal to them in any way. What they do notice is when they can't afford anything.
Which none of them are talking about it now.
No.
You know what they're saying now, because of me being on TikTok and that? You know what they say now? We didn't vote for him to lower the prices. We voted for him to put America first. I'm like, I don't see Canadian people being stopped and put in Alcatraz. You know what I mean? We don't see anybody other than brown and black, our brown brothers and sisters who are getting So we're fighting on a whole new level. I wanted to mention something before we go on. There's a thing going on in front of the White House right now of veterans going there to protest and to fight against what Trump is doing and to confront all of the the soldiers that are there. And so they even set up tents. This is their first day that they just finished a 24-hour thing, and they have more coming. and they're all just going to stand in front of the White House until whenever. But
and
so
hopefully talk with the National Guard, talk with the active service members.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're confronting them. They're like having conversations with them. What are you going to do? What is it? You know, they're just really getting some real good. And these are veterans. So it's not like they're not talking. They're talking to the same people.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's squeeze in one more, because the time has gone. Of course, it's gone in absolute flash. And this is more of like an astrological, but we can come in here and see what the cards bring in. So Nick Mintz again, and it's about the lunar eclipse on September the 7th. And I double checked to see what sign it's in. So it's happening in Sidereal Aquarius. Yeah, Sidereal Aquarius, which is where the natal moon of the Declaration of Independence chart, that's where the moon is for the USA. So this is very, very significant. So Nick Mintz says, will the lunar eclipse on September 7th bring any reversal to the globe's slide to the right? Do any cards come out showing balance returning? And then just to add, this lunar eclipse will be happening around about 26 degrees 59 minutes of sidereal Aquarius, and the USA moon, natal moon, is also in Aquarius around 7-8 degrees. So this eclipse is happening with the moon of the natal Declaration of Independence chart, and the moon deals with the people. Remember that the moon deals with the people, real estate, how we get our needs met, emotions, all of that stuff. Yeah. So let's do a one card pull just to finish, to read and try and anticipate the energy of this lunar eclipse on September the 7th, 2025. And then we'll end there. Oh, gosh.
It's okay, Hogarth.
It's just like,
we made it through Hitler. We made it through the last Hitler. We're going to make it through this one.
Right, let's see. All right, so after 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So who needs to go first this time? I can't remember now.
I think Lena.
Yes. So I think people are going to have to choose from a range of things, and they find the choice itself difficult to make, but they're going to be catapulted into having to weigh up, if you like, the snakes and ladders of these cups. You know, they're going to have to look at it.
Could this also speak about some collective illusions and delusions as well, Lena?
Massively. And let's hope it scales falling from the eyes. But it is a total state of illusion, delusion, collusion, all the illusions.
Indeed. My card, I think, is quite simple. I think what's going to wake people up is just the hardship of trying to conserve money.
Hardship.
You know, the food is ridiculous. Coffee, I'm hearing, is like people having to pay $20+ for like bog standard coffee. The beef is just a joke. Electric bills, everything. So I think this is people just literally trying to hold on, and I think this is like the wake-up call. Sheila?
Well, ironically, the only card that's in my deck, it came out inverted, and it was the Queen of Pentacles inverted. So the Queen of Pentacles upright is down to earth. She's doing good. She's growing her stuff, right? Inverted is that you're going to lose balance between work and your family. You're going to lose balance between your grocery bill and your paying your bill. So there's going to be an imbalance going to happen. And I think that is probably going to be a really big wake-up call. That's unfortunate. And it's probably happening right here, right now. But the gap is going to get bigger. Just prepare. I mean, those who have been watching this for quite some time know how to prepare, stock up, do this. And it's cheap when you have the money, things of that nature. I do the exact same thing. Grow your own food. You know, whatever you got to do to lessen that gap. But Yeah, but the others in the red states and stuff like that who literally live paycheck to paycheck that don't even get to use. I mean, their paycheck lasts 2 or 3 weeks after paycheck. You know what I mean? That's it doesn't do any good for them. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Right. And David, you get to close with your reading. How do you interpret your card?
I got people starting to bartering and going back to your college days of, when you've got no money and you have to eat, and you buy the 36-pack of generic top ramen type of thing. But it's kind of like that. It's people not having much and having to come up with new and creative ways to be thrifty.
Which is a good thing if you didn't have, being forced to do it.
Right. It's really, Sheila's card would have been fantastic for going back to basics. You really have to just dispense with anything that doesn't keep you alive, with shelter and food and clothing. It's going to be hard. It's a real lifestyle adjustment.
Cooperatives in your building or in your neighborhood or with work colleagues, if you've still got a job or whatever, shopping in bulk, then you only have to do it once a month or something.
Yeah.
And working cooperatively and barter. I love barter.
Indeed. So I just want to say one more thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the kind donation, much appreciated. The time has gone in a flash. In fact, we've actually gone over, so I want to say thank you to all of my guests. As you know, it goes so quickly on here. I think that was all one card pulls, but it was still a full and varied show. Thank you everyone for all of your contributions, your likes and donations, and giving your questions and your love and support. And as we kind of try and help each other through these extraordinary times. I mean, these really are extraordinary times. This is very, very odd stuff we're all paying witness to here. Who knows where this roller coaster will end? But one thing I do know for sure is this illusion and delusion that has been going on. This is not going to last much longer, folks. It isn't. Because
and in a way, it's almost a blessing that this is the only thing that can stop the dictatorship is for the tariffs to cause a crash. You know what I mean? Nothing short of that would stop it.
Indeed. But the pocketbook, this is what I've learned, the pocketbook always wins. Always. Yeah. So as people...
You know why that? Because you don't have to pay attention to one news source for a year, but you pay more gas or pay for more bread, they know something's going on.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah. So with that, guys, so even though these times are stormy and they're challenging and they are difficult and they're likely to get more challenging and difficult, but the illusion, this fever is breaking, folks. It really is. This, like I said, I'm looking at the astrology as well. This cannot continue for much longer. This BS has to end, and it will end soon, because those prices are going to be shaking people into reality. It's happening already, but even the most rusted on MAGA at some point is going to be looking at their prices and going, ooh, maybe not such a good idea. But anyway, we will leave it there because we've got to go. Otherwise, the show will drag on forever. Thank you so much to my guests. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much, Lena. Thank you so much, David. Thanks for being back. We will see you next week. I think it's Johnny next week. I need to check the rota. And we will see you soon. Chins up, folks. One foot in front of the other, and we can get through this. Yeah. All right. Big love, everyone. And bye-bye for now. Yeah. Mwah.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.